morning, Westeros.
And welcome to our Morning Throners podcast. I'm Nelson.
I'm Jeff.
And I'm Kyle.
And we are your Morning Throners. And welcome back to another episode of your favorite Song of Ice and Fire podcast. We are your Morning Throners, and we got Brienne 8 on deck. Gentlemen, how are we doing?
Pretty good. Kyle,
Pretty
thoughts on the
good.
chapter?
Yeah, I think this is going to be the last Brienne.
Forever?
I don't know that I think she's dead. No, I don't know that she's dead, honestly. We can get it. We'll obviously get into that. But
I forget what you said last time. Let's start with, if you remember, what did you say at the end of the last one?
I think I said the last one didn't feel like it was enough. I think that was where I was at.
I don't know. I think we tricked you. Got him.
I think you said you could have seen it as the cliffhanger, but maybe not.
Oh, he was a fence sitter? Like always?
We were on a fake cliff. Now we're on the real
No,
cliff.
I don't feel like it.
I'm just giving you a hard time. I'm starting fights at the beginning of the podcast.
Did you enjoy it, Kyle?
Yeah, I think this was a good one. This one flowed pretty well, and it was fun.
Synopsis.
I liked it.
Well, I want to say something.
All right, go ahead, Jeff. What'd you think?
I'll say I appreciate this chapter a whole lot more second time through.
Yeah.
I think a lot more connections can just be made just from understanding who people are. And I still don't remember, who's the one-eyed guy? What's his name?
Jack Be Lucky. Or Barrack.
Okay.
If Thoros is lying.
Yeah, but it's not Barrack. Yeah. I forgot who Jack Be Lucky, but I knew who they were, before before it was too obvious, right?
Who's the Northman who's translating?
He doesn't matter.
See, I don't. I remembered Lemon Cloak, obviously, but
Well, they say
I knew
his name.
the other guys, but I didn't remember who they were. Was it Tom of Tom Seven Strings or whatever? Is that
He's the singer.
Tom?
He's not known to be from the North. Harwin is the one Northman who recognized Arya. He was the son of the.
Is that his name, Harwin, or is
Harwin?
Yeah, I
I
remember.
thought Harwin was the dad.
Hullen was the dad, the master of horse in Winterfell.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought of it.
Yep. So I agree. It is kind of cool. I do like it how you get Lem and you get Thoros. I think they say both those names, but some of the other minor ones doesn't matter. It probably was a pain for George to write the one-eyed man instead of Jack every time.
Yeah,
But this is why it takes so long to write the books. The normal author would just write Jack.
Well, this is why he gave him one eye, right? He had to give him identifying features, right? So that way kind of could, So that was part of that. The Lemon Cloak, right?
Yeah.
And
even the fact that Brienne was calling Lem the Hound, I thought was just funny. It's
Yeah, I think it's definitely you kind of take on different roles through your attire and the names that you have, right? So
and I'll just say one more thing before we can either synopsis or jump in. Just hearing the Brotherhood's point of view on everything they feel about Jaime and the Lannisters, which is so opposite of Brienne, I think was pretty.
I think she has a very unique situation of being so close to him while he was kind of undergoing this transformation. Whereas, it'd be impossible to believe anything she's saying.
yeah.
Yep. When that light bulb clicks for her too, it's oh fuck,
Yeah. And I'll give the synopsis real quick. So basically, at the end of the last Brienne chapter she was at the inn. Rorg and Biter and a bunch of his people show up. She basically steps out to defend, kills Rorg, gets kind of fucked up by Biter. Biter ends up. It's ambiguous what happens. I think it's kind of clear that something got shoved through his mouth.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, because it's his tongue got super long, right?
Yep. So in this chapter, she has been captured by the Brotherhood without banners and taken back to a cave. Not clear if it's the same cave that Arya was taken to, but probably. Taken to a cave, meets Lady Stoneheart. I think one of the interesting things is she doesn't realize who that is for the first half of the conversation. And it basically ends up that they're okay, you're going to get hung or go kill Jaime Lannister. And that's the dilemma she's given at the end. The thing that I'll point out to you guys is kind of what screws her is it does look bad for her when basically they lay out all the evidence.
The evidence is not good for Brienne.
And two of the things that they point out is that you kept yelling for Jaime in your dreams, and look at the sword. This is clearly a Lannister sword, and that's the other thing that she yells a lot for in her dreams. And I'm sure they're just walking along her over this horse, and she's probably Jaime, my sword, and then they're like, well, this is a Lannister
I would
lady
say
for sure.
the one thing I'd how many Jaimes are there out there in the world?
Brienne sent him off.
It's very clear.
Catelyn sent him off with Jaime Lannister.
Sent her off?
Yeah.
You said him.
Yeah, you said it wrong.
Oh,
but
my
yes,
bad,
yeah.
my bad.
It's all right. Yeah. But yes, exactly. Yeah, they were together at one point. She's carrying all this other Jaime shit or Lannister shit, right?
But like on the walk back, Kat's not there, or Lady Stoneheart, whatever you want to call her. So
they're telling her though. I think
sure. But like, yeah, at one point they reported like, oh yeah, she was also saying Jaime, and like maybe Lady Stoneheart puts her, finger in the smoker hole and talks. How she was like closing her throat. You see this commercial?
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, the guys wouldn't. I guess they could assume it was Jaime, but big assumption, I think, for the Brotherhood that doesn't know that Kat sent Brienne off.
She's still covered in Lannister stuff with the King's decree and stuff, right?
She has the decree. She has a sword. It's not like she's wearing Lannister colors and
that
armor.
Is a fucking special sword, though.
Sure. Yeah. I'm not, again, I said the evidence
it's only red
and
black Valyrian
I
steel.
I said the only evidence that looked bad, like I could, all right, my brother's Jaime. Like, does that, like, where does that take us?
Yeah.
My dad's name is Jaime. Like, it could have been a million Jamies. That's all
fair.
I'm saying.
That's fair. All right, let's get into it.
All right, so she's all wet. She's bound up. She's feverish. She's in pain, and she's tied up on the back of a horse. So coming in foggy, probably just waking up from whenever she was knocked out from the fight, or
it's probably in and out the whole time.
Yeah.
And like I felt like this whole part was even like that, where it was kind of like fading in and out of.
I didn't love the back and forth, the fading in and out of dreams.
Yeah, me either. It's because it is hard to tell exactly when the dreams stop and when the real life starts.
That's
sometimes,
the point, right?
That's the point,
and I think that means that he did a decent job writing this section.
Yeah. And it's cool. Like, the dreams are like, you want to get in there and like, what the fuck's this dream mean?
I think most of the dreams are pretty surface level compared to a lot of the other dreams we'll get, like some of the Cersei dreams and stuff like that. But
yeah.
So
let's hear them.
I guess the one thing I'll say at the start before her first dream here is Podrick is yelling, and I feel like this is the only time we really hear Podrick until we see him later in the cave. So I'm thinking this first part might be when they're like just leaving the inn, right? Like it's still rain. I think it's she said it stopped raining, but she's still wet from the rain, so it must be like right on the tails of what had just happened. And I think basically time is passing as she's having all these dreams. So yeah.
And before the dream, her face is broken. Like, she could feel that her face is broken and it's sticky with blood. And her arm is also fucked up.
Yep.
Not good.
So let's get to this first dream.
She's in the bear pit, but instead of a bear, Biter's in there. She's naked. He's gnashing his teeth and fondling his member.
I think he's naked.
He's naked, I think.
Oh, he's naked. Oh, gotcha. He's naked. She fled from him, calling out for Oathkeeper, and she's calling out to the crowd, and she looks up, and the crowd is Renly, Nimbledick, Catelyn Stark, Shagwell, Pig, Timian, and a bunch of eyeless, swollen corpses that she like half recognizes from the trees she saw hanging in the trees last chapter. And when she saw them, she screamed, and she yells for Jaime. And there's pain. And I think she's waking up then.
And she heard herself scream, too. Yeah, so.
There's a common, like, she's pretty much always asking for her sword in every dream, right? And like, do you think when she's actually asking for Oathkeeper in the dream, she's also asking for Jaime out of dream?
I think she's probably yelling both. She's probably saying, that's kind of what I was saying before we started. I think the two things she's mumbling the most and like that other people can hear are my sword, Oathkeeper, dream, or Jaime, like that type of stuff. So
yeah,
pretty damning.
Yeah. She wakes up. Yes.
Yep. She's hurt. She cries out for a maester. There is no maester. Just this girl. Just me. And she's like, "Oh, this is a girl. Are you Sansa?"
And that's my mission. Yeah.
Are you Sansa?
Yep.
Do you happen to be 3 and 10?
She gets there not too long. But yeah, there's a man there too, and he's like, "Oh wow, she thinks you're Sansa Stark." Ha 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 ha. And the girl's like, "We can't go. She's gonna die." And the man's like, "Who cares? One less lion." So
I hope she dies.
Again, and I think this is probably Lem, right? I think it's not clear this man, but Lem's one of the men talking.
Lem seemed pretty ready to kill her.
Yeah, right away.
Yeah, and he's definitely anti-Brienne.
Yeah,
from every other interaction. Yeah.
She also heard prayers going on, but it was weird prayers.
Wasn't Maribald.
It was prayers for the night of dark and full of terrors.
And so are dreams.
Yes, that would be Thoros, right? Most likely.
Thoros is,
or do you think everybody else is kind of converted now?
At least some of them, right? Gendry was converted.
Yeah. I was just thinking that it might have been one. I don't know if Thoros was with them or not, but it could have been anybody just like saying the prayers of the fire god.
Like Gendry is with them at this point, and we know he was converted because he didn't say grace in the last chapter, right?
Yeah. I think this also introduced kind of the play on words of this as well, right? Like not yet, but where they changed it to the night with a K.
Yeah, that's one of the. I think that's one of the coolest. Yeah. Like, how did I not see that coming?
Yeah, sorry to spoil your reveal on that one there, but yeah, exactly. Like, so like this is kind of the beginning, laying that foundation to pull that out a little further in the chapter. Yeah, like you said, that was a cool twist on.
Yeah, switch up. Yeah, so then the next part, she's riding more, and she sees Renly, Dick Crab, and Vargo around. This is weird. I tried to think a bit, like, who could... Because Renly turns into Gendry here in a second, so I'm thinking, like, could Dick Crab be Jack and Vargo be Lem? But they don't really look the same. Neither of those look the same
I didn't put actual people to the other two.
Yeah, I didn't think...
It's just her seeing death.
Yeah, and the people she saw in the bear pit, those people, I thought it was interesting, that the group was interesting. Renly, Nimble Dick, neither of the... And Catelyn... Stark, neither of those she killed. And then the last ones were Shagwell, Pig, Timian. I think it's interesting because you could like imply she thinks she's responsible for at least Renly and Dick's death. Right? She was with Renly, didn't protect him when that's her job when he died. And Dick, she also to his death,
she also took an oath to protect Cat at one point too.
Yeah, and then so I think that was interesting because then she's comparing the people who she didn't kill but she let die to the people that she actually herself killed. So yeah, I thought that was kind of funny why Dick Crab and Vargo Hoat are popping up back here again because she kind of killed Vargo Hoat. We heard the Mountain did some shit to him, but he was like gonna die from an infected ear because she bit off his ear before any of that shit happened anyway. So
she started the downfall for sure. Yeah,
weird shit going on with Renly. He's not smiling at her, which he had always done, and he's cold.
Yeah, he turns, scowls, and she realizes, oh, that's not Renly. He never scowled.
Well, yeah, and it's weird. He said cold is all he said.
And then he gets stabbed by a shadow and starts bleeding out of his mouth.
Yeah, I think when she sees him, she turns back into, I have this in my notes as Dream 2. Renly says cold as a shadow moved without a man to cast it, and his blood came out of the green steel of his gorget to drench her hands. And he had been a warm man, but his blood was cold.
Yeah, I had it as Dream 2 as well.
Yeah, so it's weird. Like when Gendry, she's like, it's what we're saying. He's in and out. He turns around, and it seems like when she sees his face, now it's a dream. And
well, I'm saying all he said is cold though. It's a weird thing for Renly to say.
Oh yeah, and he definitely didn't
or even
say
Gendry.
Yeah, and Renly definitely did not say that. Like if we go back and look at that chapter, it's not what he was saying. Yeah. My bad. I probably over-explained that. Yeah, I thought you were saying that Gendry in the before she started dreaming said cold to her in real life. But
I'm sorry if I said Gendry about that. No, Renly is what I was talking about.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's weird.
It was one of the other weird themes that I thought was like blood just pours out of things in some of her dreams, like pours out of the neck ear, pours out of her own mouth later.
I don't think it's that weird in the sense of like this is kind of what she's surrounded with in the rest of these dreams is death and like gore. I don't even know if gore's the right word. The word I'm trying to think of can't come to mind here, but just death is all around her, and so like I think that's more imagery, pouring of blood,
just fountains seeping of blood out of bodies just and like mouths,
horrible wounds and grievous like situations, and like it's just I don't know. I mean, she's kind of in between the two worlds herself. It feels. So.
Yeah, she's seen some shit. Yep.
Well, she wakes up. They stop and they put her down at a tree, and the girl again comes over and makes her a drink to help with the pain. It is not milk of the poppy would be my.
I think it's wine.
It's wine. It's just wine. It's just
like sour and fruity or something is what she says.
Straight wine.
You think? You don't think there's anything to it?
She said it even hurt to drink. Wine that ran down her chin and dribbled down her chest. When the cup was empty, the girl filled it from a skin. I think this is just wine that they have.
And she's like, drink like 3 or 4 cups of this because like, you're gonna need a lot.
It's gonna help the pain only a little. Yeah.
You just think they were making her drunk?
Oh yeah, that's all they had. Yeah.
I think this is where Jane's about to do at least some like splitting the arm, maybe not all the face poultice, but she's about to do something to try and help Brienne here, and it's gonna hurt.
Maybe I was assuming she had a little bit of. Maybe she threw some shit into the wine too, but I don't know. Whatever. It's neither here nor there. And yeah, she told her she had a broken arm and she also had broken ribs, and she flashes back to the fight and Biter just putting all his weight on her and just smashing her. Like how fat is dude?
He's big. Yeah, he's heavy. I think at one point she says like the horse seemed to struggle under
like 350, like 400, like he's big boy.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
bald as a maggot. What a gross description of this dude.
And she's like, "Is he dead? He better be dead."
Did he die?
Yep. Gendry, the killer. last chapter we were wondering it could have been Gendry, could have been Hyle, could have been Pod. We had heard like it seemed like they had all joined the fight somehow. We were kind of hoping Pod back to back saved Tyrion.
Yeah. That was, I think that was actually where it was. I thought maybe it were Beric and his guys. I mean, obviously Gendry is kind of one of those guys, but yeah. But
Gendry, getting the job done.
I thought it was a third party. Yeah, Gendry. Yeah.
So did he get on the frag count? I haven't kept. It's gonna be when I update the frag count at the end of the book. It's gonna be a while. I haven't updated it in a while.
How are you gonna update
You'll
it?
never update
a lot of times when we talk about it here, like right now, whoever we give, if we're gonna give Gendry the kill, I'm gonna put it at the top of the chapter.
Stabbed him in the face. What do you mean?
I got it.
Who else would get it?
I'm just saying, are we counting it as on page?
Yes. That's a confirming of the one at the end of the.
Yeah. Okay.
It happened.
They just
last
collected the
Brienne.
dog tags. What are you talking about?
Okay.
So she puts it together that she's not Sansa, but she happens to be the sister of the innkeep.
Yep.
She calls her. Does she call her Willow? Is she asking her if her name is Willow here, or is she asking her if she?
I think that's the only name she knows. Yeah, I don't know exactly what the wording is, but yeah, she's like, Willow, you're her older. You must be her older sister or something like that. I think is much what she says. Willow's older sister. She says Willow, but she's like, I'm Jane.
Internally,
Jane.
Yeah, she's brown hair, brown eyes, plain.
But then she said, what confused me was she was like, nope, Heddle, all the same. I'm like, well, is it Willow Heddle? Like, we don't know Willow's name. Like, are you her sister?
Do you have a name? She says, do you have a name? Heddle, same as Willow, Jane Heddle. So I think she's saying, yes, it's the same name
we have
as
the same last name.
Willow. Yeah. But I got you.
Yep.
Yeah.
The other thing is Gendry is a few of them say like, oh, my lady. Like she's like, unbind me, please. Gendry's like, we can't till you see my lady.
Milady means for you to answer for your crimes.
Yeah, and I think like there's a few times where when they say that, Brienne's like, how can this little girl be so cruel? Like thinking that she's thinking that these guys are calling Jean Heddle my lady. And somehow Jean's in charge, at least at some parts here.
What about right after they go into these nicknames too? You still think it's about Jean?
Oh, I guess you're right. Here, that must be later, because here she says, are you speaking of Lady Stoneheart? She remembered Randall speaking of her, and Gendry's like, some call her that, some call her the Silent Sister, Mother Merciless, or the Hang Woman. And then Brienne thinks of all the corpses that were hanged.
Yeah. So do you think at that point Brienne's thinking that Jane is Lady Stoneheart? Or?
No, I guess you're right. I guess the quote I'm thinking of is later on.
Because they're talking. She's talking to Jane, right?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
You can't wait till you talk to Milady. She's already talking to Jane. So
yeah.
Let me just say that, like, man, what these people got it down. Like the Outlaws, not the Brotherhood, but the Outlaws got such a downgrade when fucking Beric switched out for vengeful Catelyn Stark, the Hang Woman now, right?
They were always outlaws. I said this from the day one that they picked up Arya. They were always outlaws. They were always just doing what they wanted. It just so happened to be that we liked what they wanted for a while.
They were Robin Hood.
I meant the other outlaws. So the ones that they're like trying to chase down. Now this lady is just straight hanging them everywhere, right?
Gotcha.
Like she is even more brutal to everybody else. They got these deserters and any lions essentially, because she's going straight for frays and vengeance on the Lannisters. So
yeah, I think later Lem says that they're kind of going after Boltons and Freys. Like we'll get enough of them. Don't worry about that. All that she wants from you is Jaime Lannister.
Okay, yeah, exactly. So that's all I'm saying. It's like Beric didn't seem to have this driven vengeance behind his moves in this sense, where she's got a target.
I think the talk with Thoros too really kind of splits the two of Beric to what his values were to where Catelyn kind of is, or Lady Stoneheart, however you want to.
All right, cool. Yeah. I'm excited to see where you say that happens. I forget.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. So she tries to get up and find Pod, Marigold, Hyle, and Dog, but she passes out.
I love that part. She's like, where's the others? Pod, Hyle, Septon. Where's Dog? And they're like,
can't forget about Dog.
Yeah, she seems the most concerned about Dog, which is obviously what I love. But then I think it's also funny because whoever responds is like, you killed they think she's talking about the Hound. She's like, you killed him, my lady. Yeah. It's Gendry. Yeah, you killed him.
Okay, so you do think the Hound here? Okay, good. I was worried. I was like, what the fuck did Brienne do to this dog?
No, I think they're talking about Roar.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
that's
dog
good.
Dog mask person.
I got you. That's fine. I'm saying that's good news.
All right, Dream 3, Jeff. What's this one?
She is in the Whispers fighting Clarence Crabbe without a sword.
Kyle, who's Clarence Crabbe?
He was like Krabby Dick's hero cousin, some shit. He like made up. It sounded like he made him up.
not cousin.
He's like a tall tale
hero. Yeah, exactly. More tall
He was
tale,
the hero of the crab, right?
Yes,
Back from the old time.
Yeah, and exactly, and like he rode some big bull or something, and I forget who he fucked up, but he had all the heads, right?
Yeah, exactly. He would bring all the heads back to the Whispers. It was kind of his place. Yep.
Yeah.
And Brienne's fighting him here, but she again doesn't have a sword, right?
Yeah, and she's on a boat as well, and she's just getting chatter from chat. She's got the water talking shit about her. The reeds are calling her a freak. I forget what the water said to her. Ugly, maybe, or
you went into Dream 4 for me.
what?
Yeah, so for Clarence,
It's right after that.
Yeah, but Clarence-
it's the same
so-
dream.
She like
doesn't
wakes
wake
back up a
yet.
little.
yeah, but Clarence kills her. Then she does hear some real voices through the. She's like calling again. She's calling for her sword with Clarence. She's like, "My sword! I want my sword!" And one of the voices answers, "I want to fuck the queen for all the good it does me." Which again tells me that they're hearing her call for her sword in these dreams.
Yeah, well, I didn't separate that. She doesn't wake up here.
But then he cuts her head off, and then she falls into a deeper darkness. So, question. There's a part later in the chapter where she says, I hope I'm still in some dream and I'm going to wake up, like when she's about to be hung or whatever. Here she goes from level 1 Inception dream to level 2 Inception dream. Does she ever bubble back up? She needs
Maybe she goes all the way to limbo. We just lose
She
her
needs
at the
a
bottom.
spinning top. We got to spin a top or roll a dice or what.
Can we do 1 second on Inception then?
Inception's awesome. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead,
Kyle
Kyle.
didn't seem to like Inception.
You had a
on
comment.
Inception.
No. What I was gonna say is that just there's no chance that she knows the inside of this hole and all these people that we know, and that Catelyn is in there as like zombie cat, right? Like, there's no way that she's in like dreaming that part. So I don't know that she's. You could say that that's
No,
level
that's
1
a
dream after
meme.
level 2. I know you were making a joke. I get it, but I'm here to fucking shut you up.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead, Jeff.
All right. Inception has popped up on my TikTok a lot recently, and I love every clip of it. Like I pretty much watched the movie now through TikTok. The one
Wait,
problem
you've
I've
never
always
seen
had,
Inception?
No, I've seen it multiple times.
Okay.
The one problem I have with Inception is that he uses Maul's totem. The top isn't his,
Yeah.
right? So in the beginning, when they introduce the totem, it defeats the point if someone else is spinning it or flipping your king's piece or rolling your dice. So, like,
That was the point.
I get it, but he's always throughout the whole movie he's using the top as a totem.
Well, I think that's part of the point, but also they say that's the rule because you don't want someone to be able to like take it out and swap it with a fake one and fuck with you. I don't think there's any other reason. So if she's dead, it really doesn't matter. There's no one that knows what it is.
Well, I thought the point was that
everyone knows what his fucking totem is, right? Because like everyone knows it's like in the scene where we learn it's maybe not.
He immediately spins the top to
I feel like
check.
he does it in front of people. Maybe not. I don't know. It's
I
been a
think
while
that's
since
the
I've
point,
seen
though.
it.
Is I think that's to add another layer of like, was any of that happening, or was it all part of a different dream?
Or like at the end, like the top wobbled, and then like I've always been like, but that's not his totem. Like that's kind of where my
I think
brain.
That's more of the mystery, right? That's what I'm getting at. So I think you've uncovered another part.
Do you think he had an OG totem?
The Lord.
Before he
Yeah,
had
that's
to.
what I'm saying.
He
Is there
had
something
to.
else?
Okay.
And like at what point, why would he be like, nah, I'll spin her top instead of use my OG totem?
How would you guys feel about this? Inception 2 gets announced.
I don't think you need to touch it.
Yeah, I think it'd be dumb.
Yeah, I agree.
It would be like Shutter Island 2. Like, what would you even do?
What's the point?
What's the point?
Well, I mean, I think it's.
I think if you do it, it's got to be completely different people with a whole different point of why you're using Inception.
To tie it back to Game of Thrones is I think that the reason we all don't want a number 2 is partly because some of these, first off, number 2s for things like that always suck. But also, it's fun to speculate on some of these things that like are just never going to have an answer, and that's why we do this podcast, right? It's like
it's more fun to do that than to have some corny ass answer or even a good answer. Really, sometimes,
Even when we do get all the Winds of Winter dance, Winds of Winter and Dream of Spring. Like, I think a lot of the things that we're talking about in this podcast are not going to be answered. We're not going to know who.
For sure.
A lot of people think we're never going to know who Azor Ahai is. If there is like a Azor Ahai.
Well, that's just stupid.
I think it's like, a lot of people think even if all the books come out, we'll never know. It'll just be like, it could have been anybody.
That's fine.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so I don't know. I had her getting shit talked by the reeds in the water as part of the same dream.
Yeah, we're next there. Yep. So she got her head cut off. She's in Dream 4.
That's all I had in the boat. She was getting shit talked. I think she wakes up. Jane's feeding her soon after that.
Yeah, actually, on a reread, it's interesting because when she's getting shit talked, the willows say beauty and the reeds say freak. She's going to get the tree she gets hung from at the end is a willow. The other two are in elms. I noticed that because
Dunk Sigil luring her in.
I noticed that because Dunk Sigil was an elm.
I knew you would go all freaky on that.
But she didn't. No, I hated it because she should have been an elm. They should have been willows. She's in the willow. They're in the elms.
No.
But that's why willow sticks out to me
proof
here.
that she's not a dunk heir.
Shut up! Don't ever say that.
All right.
Jane gives her some broth.
Yeah.
Onion broth. Yeah.
Can you imagine just tasting onion the rest of the day too? It's on your teeth.
Have you ever been to hibachi? That's pretty much what you get the soup at hibachi. That's got to be just onion broth, right?
I mean, I smacked that soup down, but there's not like...
That's onion broth, bro. That's onion broth.
Yeah, but then she tastes onion just the rest of the day.
They put her hood on her.
Bad.
Yeah, she's huffing her own onion breath.
And it's like, man, I got onion chunk in my teeth. Like, I wouldn't want to be licking onion chunk the rest of the day.
Yeah.
I love that soup. I eat that soup all the time.
Yep.
I mean, not all the time, but I would smack it down.
Yeah,
it's not even soup. It's just broth. Yeah. It's just broth.
But it's so good.
There's a mushroom in there.
Yeah. That's what I said. It's like one little dried mushroom piece and a little green scallion.
Yeah.
But Lem comes up again. He's wearing the hound helm now. She's like, I killed you. He's like, no, I'm going to kill you. You'll see.
Yeah. Gendry left as well.
Gendry's gone. Yep. He went back at the river. I highlighted it in my notes because I was going to look at the map and then I never did. But
are you going to say that they were actually on a boat, like during the dream? She was actually.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Good point, Jeff. I wasn't actually going to look at the map. That's why I highlighted that because I thought that was connecting to the dream. Good point. We don't have to worry about the map. Moving on.
Brienne begging for guest right. Please. I ate with. We fed them. Maribald fed the kids. We ate with them. We have guest right. Save me.
Yeah. What's Jean say, Kyle?
Get fucked. No, she says, guess right don't mean so much as it used to. Not since Milady come back from the wedding. Some of them swinging down by the river figured they was guests too.
We figured different, said the hound. They wanted beds, we gave them trees.
We got more trees, though.
Put in another shadow, one eye beneath a rusty pot helm.
We always got more trees.
Yep. So, I think this is a cool line, especially on a reread, right? Because it comes back up. Jean kind of throws this one in later. Is that one of the ones we already mentioned? I don't remember.
Milady coming back from the wedding? Is that what you're talking about?
Guess right don't mean so much as it used to.
Oh, guess right, yeah.
Yep.
And neither does death.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
She adds to it.
This is where we get the leather sack, and she was kind of thankful for it because she thinks about Jaime, Sansa, and her dad, and the sack is hiding her tears.
Yeah, she's crying for those she's failed.
Yep, and then we get the one last dream before we're in the hill. Kyle, why don't you read, or Jeff, whoever wants to, read this whole one. It's like 2 paragraphs.
This time she dreamed that she was home again at evenfall. Through the tall arched windows of her lord father's hall, she could see the sun just going down. I was safe here. I was safe. She was dressed in silk brocade, a quartered gown of blue and red decorated with golden suns and silver crescent moons. On another girl, it might have been a pretty gown, but not on her. She was 12, ungainly and uncomfortable, waiting to meet the young knight her father had arranged for her to marry, a boy 6 years her senior, sure to be a famous champion one day. She dreaded his arrival. Her bosom was too small, her hands and feet too big, her hair kept sticking up, and there was a pimple nestled in the fold beside her nose. He will bring a rose for you, her father promised her, but a rose was no good. A rose could not keep her safe. It was a sword she wanted. Oathkeeper. I have to find the girl. I have to find his honor.
Pause real quick. What does she mean by that, Kyle?
I think she's trying to get Jaime back? I don't know.
She's referenced this a few times. I think Jaime's the right answer.
Jaime's honor.
Yeah, she said that it's really Jaime's oath to find the girls, not her.
Yeah.
Right? So she's trying to find Sansa on behalf of Jaime.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think that's... Yep, just wanted to point that out. Go ahead, Jeff. One more paragraph.
Finally, the doors opened, and her betrothed strode into her father's hall. She tried to greet him as she had been instructed, only to have blood come pouring from her mouth. She had bitten her tongue off as she waited. She spat it at the young knight's feet, and saw the disgust on his face. "Brienne the beauty," he said in a mocking tone. "I have seen sows more beautiful than you." He tossed the rose in her face. As he walked away, the griffins on his cloak rippled and blurred and changed to lions. "Jaime," she wanted to cry. "Jaime, come back for me." But her tongue lay on the floor by the rose, drowned in blood.
Yep, and she wakes up.
Dun, dun, dun.
Kyle, who is this?
I mean, is it the it's not Hyle. The one of the dudes that like, there was one that she seemed like she was not. I don't know. I forget his name.
Is Jeff. You answer.
He didn't seem as bad as all the others. Like he didn't seem like. Actually, yeah, he did. Then we got more and more. You're right.
I feel like you're implied this guy is involved in the game that Hyle played. I don't know if we knew that. This is one of like the 3 or 4 betrothals we've heard of before.
Is this the guy from the rebellion that bounced across the narrow sea?
No, this is the guy that Jaime. This is just the suitor that Jaime smacked with his hand. Remember when Jaime was at Harrenhal and the guys Jaime sees this guy at the bear pit.
I was just trying to think of who the sigil was, but
I think he has a cut. So this guy's name is Red Ronnet Connington. We've heard of a brother, John Connington, who was a hand of the king. Not a brother, a cousin who was hand of the king, and he got exiled when Aerys was going through hands every day.
I had the family.
Yeah, you had the right last name. This guy's Red Ronnet
Connington.
Yeah, Connington. This guy's Red Ronnet Connington. This is the guy that Jaime met at Harrenhal. He's looking in the bear pit. He's like, this is where Brienne the Beauty, and he basically talks shit, and Jaime smacks this guy with his golden hand. Also, now that we say it, I thought Jaime smacking he smacked a Frey with his gold hand. And we were like, he's finally learning.
Yeah.
He's just going to keep smacking people.
I guess him smacking Red Ronnet was him learning. Now he's like, okay, we got to Jeff's point. He's got a good attachment.
He's got a signature move now.
All right.
I mean, it'll never hurt, right? It'll never hurt. So you might as well use it. Like, you should never punch anybody with your other hand.
He should jab people with, like,
did you guys watch that clip? When we talked about this last time, I put the clip in the Discord about the metal hands guy.
Yeah, nobody wants to fight a handicapped guy.
He just got titanium hands.
Yeah, he just beating the fuck out of everybody. Yeah, it was pretty funny.
All right. Anything else to say about this? I think the last interesting thing about this dream is as that guy turns away, he turns into Jaime. I think that's just because, again, we're gonna get Brienne in her dreams once again yelling Jaime, Jaime, Jaime. So I think that's why. I don't think it's really because, like, I don't know, Jaime left her or something, like, you know what I mean? But
no, yeah, I got you. I think that's just kind of where she's going back to. She needs him.
Maybe it's her oath fading away, like the honor, the oath fading.
Yes, stuff like that is what I was wondering, but I think it's probably just more give an excuse to her to yell Jaime. So, all right, next time she wakes up, underground.
Undressed and bandaged up, and an old man comes to her when she's like calling around, right?
This is Dolores now, yeah.
Yeah, she wakes him up.
She's like, I want my mail, I want my sword, and get me out of here, old man.
Yeah, she's barely standing, first of all. She says she's like weak on her feet, but yeah, she's like, I want my stuff. Let's get out of here. Kyle, this is one of the things that, like, I think you were kind of alluding to earlier, like, information gets rolled out, like, weirdly here. Did you, I guess, how long did you, till you knew it was Thoros? Was there any thought beforehand? Because so by this point, you know we're with the Brotherhood, I guess? You kind of knew that, I guess, at the end of the last chapter.
Yeah, no, this felt, we knew that then, and then this felt like the hole that Arya was in. So, like, I knew where we were at here.
So were you like, again, I know it's hard to remember. Are you like on the lookout for like familiar people, like a yellow cloak or a red cloak or whatever at this point?
I'll be honest, I wasn't on it to Thor. Like, I picture Thoros kind of as the show Thoros. So like when it's like old fat man, right? Like it doesn't, but then it's pink cloak, right? So I'm
exactly. I was gonna say we got the old robe, pink and white, long hair, gray, like a mess. That was when I knew exactly who it was. And that wasn't that long after kind of the beginning of this here. Well, like she got to her feet, finds him. He says, Lady Brienne, you gave me a fright. I thought I was dreaming. And then she's like, where am I? And then we get that essentially. Yeah. So it wasn't deep before I figured it out.
Yeah, I mean, like, he's definitely changing. I just went back and looked at all the descriptions I have of him. Even Arya, he's starting to get gray hair and stuff, like a gray beard. Yeah. But I guess my thought was, I think his appearance is meant to be slightly different than it was before, because it's supposed to show like this shift in the Brotherhood from time, but also like, hey, there's like a big symbolism that we're about to get into a little bit, but like, hey, it's not the good old days anymore. Like shit, like Feast of Crows times. You know what I mean?
I didn't quite remember all the details of this chapter, so when it was just a pink cloak, I was thinking maybe it was a Ramsay. Or not a Bolton guy.
Yeah, Ramsay.
Especially because they say like white and pink, I think.
It is white and pink.
And that's not necessarily Bolton colors. They're more red and pink, but still, it's like, I was thinking the same thing. I was wondering if George was intentionally trying to make you think Bolton.
I don't know. I guess I was so locked on the Brotherhood that I just kind of automatically assumed it was Thoros.
Yeah, but so he's like one of the first things that you want some food, want some milk, bread, or honey. And yeah, like Jeff said, I want some clothes.
My sword.
Do they talk about anything important before he actually goes to get her food?
He checks her fever.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, I didn't think you were gonna make it. You're pretty fucked up, and Jane fixed you up pretty nice. She got your arm right, but your face is fucked.
Yeah, it's not gonna be pretty. She's like, oh, you mean I'm gonna have some scars? And he's like, my lady, the dude ate your face, like half of it.
Bit a chunk out.
Yeah, like it's not scar. It's worse than scars. Yeah, it's bad.
She asks a good question here.
Why set my bones?
Why fix me up if you're gonna hang me?
And Thoros' answer, I think this is one of the most interesting lines in the whole chapter, especially on like a reread when you know this is Thoros. Why indeed? He glanced at the candle as if he could no longer bear to look at her. I don't think he can no longer bear to look at her. Why indeed? The guy who sees things in the fire looks at the candle. And then he even says later, like, I've seen things in the fire, but not the end. Right? Like, I think it's like
I didn't even take it like that way, but I guess looking into the candle does make sense. I'll give my thoughts if you want, but Kyle.
Yeah, I don't have a good thought on this, like what he could even be pulling out of looking at the candle. I know what you're saying, Nelson, like, right, like he sees prophecies in the fire.
Maybe I should
I don't think there's anything.
So what? I kind of disagree with you. I think it's more so like he knows the people that they're dealing with now, which he's about to get into. Like justice has changed here, right?
Yeah.
So like,
yeah,
it's kind of like the Dark Knight Rises. Death by exile or.
Well, yeah, and this is or do it yourself. So I like
death or exile. All right, exile.
This is kind of to me. It was like, why indeed? Because that was the old way, right? Like, as we would show everybody, some dignity and sense. Some honor.
That's not how we used to. You're saying that's not how we used to do things when Barrack was in charge.
And then he's like Jeff said, he kind of glances at the candle, like, because he can't actually look at her because he knows now that's not how things happen.
He's ashamed,
right?
almost.
But that was kind of that's the way that I kind of feel about
it. I just don't want to also think that like every time Thoros looks in a candle, there's something to see. Like, that's true. That takes away the point.
I think there's still some symbolism there, though, right? Like,
sure.
I mean, he is the fire
Maybe
guy.
he's like trying to see, but like, I'm not saying that he finds her.
It could just be a quick prayer, right? Like, I mean, to some degree, like he's trying to
look
for some.
He might just be fucking grabbing the candle to go walk to the kitchen. Is my point.
That's true. That's true.
But like, I don't want to believe that he looked into the candle, saw her fate right at that moment because he was talking to Brienne. Like, I don't want the visions to work that way.
I meant more of like a Lord of Light, help me in this situation kind of thing, right? Like he looks at the candle for that.
Well, what Jeff was saying was more what I was implying. I don't know if I was saying that he looked in there and saw her total fate, but he saw more than like you're not going to die today or something. Which again, I feel like maybe. Like,
but no, I don't like that.
Here's why I feel weird about saying that, because, and I want to see what Kyle thinks about this. One of our fans, and we asked the question in the Ariane chapter. We kind of talked. Jeff and I had this conversation in the Ariane chapter a couple ago of like how much we go into stuff. And one of the fans commented in one of the spoiler discords. So you didn't see it, Kyle, but he was saying that sometimes I don't like when I tell you like, oh, here's what the fandom thinks. And I didn't used to do that at all. I've been doing it more as we're like getting towards the end. Then it's like, oh, Kyle has all the information on this now, so I can kind of tell you. So I feel like I just caught myself doing that, and then that's why. You know what I mean? And this is actually a case where I don't think I've ever seen a fandom person think that, but that's like a speculation that maybe I normally wouldn't say to Kyle because it's like maybe implying that I don't know the truth of this. You know what I mean?
I mean, we're almost done.
See, I don't think it's that bad of one else, just because me and you have never talked about this candle Thoros moment. Like, we've talked about the majority of your tin hat theories and where the fandoms.
I think the point of the comment, and I understand it, is when I basically say to Kyle something like that and I start speculating because I don't know the truth, it almost gives him the answer of we're not going to learn more about, you know what I mean? And we're not going to learn more about this.
It does, but I think we're close enough to the end that it's kind of like part of the discussion now is to include me in that part, right? Like, so that's my opinion on it, at least, is like, you're not spoiling anything. It's now, that's kind of been the way I looked at this podcast going the whole time, was slowly the spoiler section would get shorter and the beginning part would have more of that stuff. So,
well, and one of the good points that I think he has is, say, while we have a year till we're done with dance, say while that year's going by, When's Winter comes out. The fact that we've been kind of pulling Kyle into these conversations takes some of the blind readout going into Win. You know, like, it changes. I'm sure it changes the perspective at least slightly. So
I think a cooler way you could have taken it, Nelson, would have been like, all right, we got Thoros then looking into a candle. Like, Kyle, what do you think he's seeing in the candle? More so than
I don't even know where you do that, though.
if you wanted to mention that he looked into the candle.
As soon as I said it, I was like, I said that in a way too like leading way or a way too like reveal. I agree. I think I should have pointed out the candle, but again, that's why it gets tricky because I'm bad at talking.
But you're allowed to have opinions and thoughts too on this stuff, right? Like that's part of the podcast. Too long
for this chapter. I was hoping this chapter was going to be short. Let's go.
All right, let's
it
roll.
Is short.
He's like, yo, you fought bravely. Good job. It all happened because Lem actually fucked up. Lem got tricked, and the bandits ran him across the river, circled back, all right, and he chased the bait and got there too late. So, who are you people? Brienne asked him.
Yeah, so if only fucking Lem would have stayed there, or Lem would have caught these dudes earlier, we wouldn't be in this situation. Because he was hunting them, right? Like, that was what was happening.
He was basically guarding the inn.
I think he was. I think they set up a trap of the inn, right? Like they're like, "Come attack this inn. We're gonna be ready for you."
I should have done this. I should have gone back in the last Brienne chapter and saw when they lit a fire, because I guarantee they lit a fire at some point, and that is basically the kids in the inn trying to tell them like, "Yo, Lem, get the fuck over here. There's somebody here we don't want here." At the time, it was probably Brienne and co.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
and then that probably attracted the bandits. Who knows?
That's true. Yeah, maybe that's why
they literally showed up at the same time. Like, oh shit, there's.
I mean, I think this is a main. It's kind of, they call it the inn at the crossroads. I think it's kind of.
Yeah, but like, all right, now there's smoke in there. Like, let's go check it out.
Well, they do kind of just want fresh horses. I want like in that last. That's the other thing to point out is they weren't really like. That's what was weird. Is like, why is Lem defending this place? Because when the Rorg and Co do come through here, it doesn't seem like they're coming through necessarily to attack. At one point, someone says like, "Just give us fresh horses and we'll be on our way." And Rorg's like, no, I'm going to fucking kill Brienne because he knows her. But before that, they were kind of like good to just take. So I don't know. But
yeah. Well, I like this line. I think Thoros kind of telling where they're at now, I thought was a cool quote.
Well, when she's like, who are you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
We were king's men when we began, but king's men must have a king, and we have none. We were brothers too, but now our brotherhood is broken. I do not know who we are, if truth be told, nor where we might be going. I only know the road is dark. The fires have not shown me what lies at the end.
Yeah, I just like that. Yeah. It's just more into the broken. War is broken to everybody, and Barrack seemed to stand for something a little bit more than what they are now.
Yeah, well, that was what I was getting at earlier, right? Yeah, for sure. Than Catelyn. But at the same time, this is kind of the Maribald broken man thing happening again.
On a large scale, yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And she's like, oh, she realizes who he is. Like, oh, you're Thoros of Myr, the Red Wizard. And he looks down at himself, pink pretender, more like a bad priest and a worse wizard. And she's like, well, what about Dondarrion? And he's like, well, he's the lightning lord. Lightning comes and goes. Then is seen no more. So too with men. Lord Barrack's fire has gone out of this world, I fear. A grimmer shadow leads us in his place.
Is it the Hound? Does the Hound lead you?
Nope, he's dead and buried. And she's like, I saw him. And she's like, that was just a fever dream. He's like, he was going to hang me. He's like, even dreams can lie, my lady. How long has it been since you have eaten? Surely you are famished.
She's hungry.
Thoros goes and gets some food. She gets up and looks for a weapon. A rock does fit well in her hand, but she ends up dropping it as he comes back.
Yep.
I forget the Shagwell thing. I don't remember. Did he had a rock? Did he throw a rock and hit Dick with it or something?
It was after the fight was over. She made him dig a grave for Nimble Dick, and he basically knew she was going to kill him after the grave. He was like, at one point, Shagwell was like, he can feed the crows. Crows need to eat, and she's like, you're going to feed the crows. He'll have a grave. So she makes him dig a grave, and right as he's about to end the grave, he finds a rock at the bottom, and she was anticipating it. And when he swung the rock on her, she got him with a knife. Yep. This is one of the, I think, really cool symbolism. I think it's definitely on purpose. When Thoros, so he goes off to get the food. When he comes back, he brings bread and cheese and stew. Okay, he was going to go get bread, milk, and honey. First off, what's better? It's a no-brainer. Bread, cheese, and stew is way better than bread, milk, and honey.
Yeah, it's not even close. One's a meal. Close. One is like not a meal.
Exactly.
I don't know if you go right into the stew after being knocked out and like all fucked up and stuff though. I don't know.
I'm not taking bread, honey, and milk and saying you gave me a meal. I'll take the cheese and stew and be like, all right, like that's lunch. I could take that.
Okay.
If I came over to your house and you offered me milk, bread, and honey, I'm getting the fuck out of there.
Exactly. I think it was intentional because what Thoros says, like, I don't actually have the full quote, but he basically says is the milk went sour and the honey is all gone. I think this is definitely symbolism. Milk and honey is like weird. It's one of the things that, like, I'm reading the Bible right now. You guys know it pops up a million times in the Bible. Like the land that God
milk and honey
promises the Israelites is the land of milk and honey, the land where you'll never want. And so Thoros is saying here's like, hey, we're all out of milk and honey. And later he says like, we're all out of pity, just like we're out of milk and honey. I think the whole point is not just us, like the brotherhood for sure, right? They have fallen. They're not like the wholesome. Like I said, we used to like these guys. They're not that anymore. They have fallen from the land of plenty.
Speak for yourself. They're still my people.
And I think just Westeros in general, right? What's the title of the book? Feast of Crows. We've gone from the land of plenty to the land of everyone is dead
Feast
and
for
dying.
Crows.
Feast for Crows. Yes. Dead and dying.
Yeah.
A feast for crows. Yes.
Well, I think the other thing is just like land of milk and honey kind of, to me at least, it symbolized like opulence. And like this is like now we're like excess, right? Like these are like nice things to have, milk and honey, whereas stew is like the hearty stuff that actually keeps you alive. And like now this is what we're down to.
Okay.
Is just
that's fair.
Kind of meager roots and trying to, you know, because stew is just like bits of everything you have, right? Like that's kind of the point of stew.
Stew is one of my favorite foods, so I don't know. I love stew.
It's because it can be anything.
Well, I just do
you
meat,
just put a whole bunch of like
and
meat and
potato,
vegetables.
basically.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I mean,
and if you have an onion, you throw a fucking onion in there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously,
if you have some other vegetables, you can throw them in there. That's the whole point of like a stew. Is that it's like it's a soup that can contain whatever your harvest is for that time.
Okay. Jeff, what are you gonna say? I feel you're gonna say something. Nothing.
Yeah,
Jeff has no
is laughing
comment.
at you.
All right, moving on. She's like, "What's up with my people?"
Maribald left. Pod's with you here for judgment.
And Heil, he's here too.
Oh, what? Pod didn't do anything. He's just a boy.
Claims he's a squire. She's like, "That's just a boy's boast." He's like, "Well, he's Tyrion's squire, first of all, and he says he killed people in battle. So have some pity." And this is where,
my lady, I do not doubt that kindness and mercy and forgiveness can still be found somewhere in these 7 kingdoms, but do not look for them here. This is a cave, not a temple. When men must live like rats in the dark beneath the earth, they soon run out of pity, as they do of milk and honey.
And justice? Can that be found in caves?
Justice. I remember justice. It had a pleasant taste. Justice was what we were about when Beric led us, or so we told ourselves. We were king's men. Knights and heroes. But some nights are dark and full of terror, my lady. War makes monsters of us all.
Are you saying you are monsters?
I am saying we are human. You are not the only one with wounds, Lady Brienne. Some of my brothers were good men when this began. Some were less good, shall we say. Though there are those who say it does not matter how a man begins, but only how he ends. I suppose it is the same for women. Our time together is at an end, I fear. I hear my brother's coming. Our lady sends for you.
Yep. So, I like that quote. There's a lot of cool things in that quote, right? The part Kyle talked about, the milk and honey thing I said earlier, but also when he says, "You're not the only one with wounds, Lady Brienne. Some of my brothers were good men when we began. Some were less good, shall we say." This reminded me of a quote from, we talked about it oddly for way too long in this other chapter too, but in Brienne 6, there's a part when this is when she's the Quiet Isle. We're hearing about Brienne, one of the brothers who died at Salt Pans. Brother Clement was not the only wounded man amongst us. Some wounds do not show. Right. And I think at one point I was implying that might be like the Hound, like his trauma or whatever. But
this to me kind of feels like, and this is only right now rereading it, feels like he's kind of telling her that he thinks she fell from grace as well. Right. Like,
well, that's a good point, because they do, right?
Because they think she fell from grace, yeah. But I mean, she to us, we know that she's been kind of still upholding this code that she had the whole time.
That's a great point. I never thought about that, but yeah, this might be like a not about
like
us,
we're
about
wounded too.
thing,
like we fucked up too. Like we understand that you fucked up and are now serving the wrong side, but people change, and you're on the wrong side now.
They don't seem to understand, but
I meant. They do understand, but they don't give a shit because she changed to be the enemy.
Yep. So, yeah, but she's like, "Our lady sends for you," and Brienne's like, "Wait, I thought you said that she was at Fair Market." We never heard that, but so I guess
Yeah, she made that shit up.
I guess there must have been a time that George cut something out of this chapter, I guess, or it was meant to be off page. I don't think he does it much, but maybe.
You think? I just feel like Stoneheart like really can't be the person that's out and about going to the markets and shit. Like she's got to be.
So I think this is why I sent the map.
I don't even know what fair market is. Is it a town or is it like?
It's a town.
Maps don't matter.
The map. Look at fair market. The reason I put the map is Lady Stoneheart has something when Brienne meets her later.
Yeah, I know what she has.
Kyle, what does she have?
I don't remember.
Oh no, you don't remember? Wow.
Oh no, she has the crown. She has the crown, yeah.
And where should that be?
Well, we saw it at River Run, didn't we?
Yes. And there was like Jamie gave a command about it, weirdly.
Can you it was the Frey dude was wearing it that like he was like the drunk Frey.
The whore he was with. She was the
yeah. You're right, yeah. But she was with the drunk Frey.
Yeah. And he says, "Get the fuck out, Frey, you're out of here. Your son is in command."
Was Merritt?
Merritt's the one who died in the epilogue. It was Ryman Frey, and he gives his son Edwin command, and he's like, "Ryman, you get the fuck out of here and leave the crown."
It sounds like the crown was not left.
So who knows? How did they get the crown? That's kind of my question to Kyle, I guess.
Cat went in behind the enemy lines and stole it.
Well, yeah, and from Jamie.
Yeah. Or if, like Jeff said, if it wasn't left, then they found some Freys who are on the way from River Run. And this is why I say if we look at fair market.
This is you telling me what the fans think.
No, it's just looking
look at the map.
I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. Harrenhal, Fair. I see the Inn at the Crossroads. I see Fair Market, yeah. Inn of the Kneeling Man.
Yeah, so we don't really know. First off, we don't really know. Inn of the Crossroads is where Brienne was. Fair Market is where Stoneheart was before this. I'm guessing they're somewhere between the two, but they really don't have to be. They could be north of Fair Market. They could be anywhere, right? We really don't know.
Well, I'm saying that they crossed the Blue Fork, right? We know that they crossed the Blue Fork.
They crossed a river.
Yeah, I don't know.
So yeah, they could have crossed when it's just like they could be right.
Could even been the Trident.
They were miles from the Inn of the Kneeling Man, right? Like the river had moved, right? We talked enough about that.
Well, that wasn't that Inn. That was the Inn at the Crossroads. They were miles from even the Inn at the Crossroads. It's miles from the river now. Yeah, or a mile or so.
Whatever.
But yeah, it doesn't really matter. My point here with Fair Market is if that's where Lady Stoneheart was coming from, and the crown wasn't kept, then we have someone going from River Run to the Twins. We know Robb took that journey. I think his intention was to cross at Fair Market, but the bridge was flooded out. So they ended up going around the river to Old Stones, right? We had a chapter at Old Stones. But if someone's going, the point is, if someone's going from River Run to the Twins, they're going through Fair Market.
Okay. So that would make sense, I guess, for her to intercept the crown there.
But that means that Jamie's command wasn't listened to. So I don't know.
What was his command, though? I don't remember.
Ryman, leave the crown.
Oh, yeah, you get the fuck out of here. That's right, and leave the crown. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, maybe he didn't. Maybe he didn't listen. I don't think Ryman gave too much of a shit. I don't think that would be that crazy for him to walk off with the crown.
So is that implying that he's okay?
No.
I think that's a question, right? There's no implication.
He might have got intercepted by Cat on the way here. Yeah, I mean,
he's the heir.
She's the hangwoman.
He's Lord Walter's heir.
Okay, so I got you. So she might have already hung Walter's heir.
Or
this is big news.
Well, no. I don't think that's a given. I think Jamie said leave the crown. Your first option of she infiltrated River Run somehow, I don't think is super crazy.
I do.
Okay. I think they're both possible. I think I agree the Ryman one might be more likely.
It could have just been like a little Frey guy too. It didn't have to be Ryman leaving with the crown. It could have been anybody.
Well, no, he kicked Ryman out. He said, "Ryman, get the fuck out of here."
I know, but I'm sure people went with him.
The parade that he took with him was long.
Okay, I'm about to leave. Like, let me slip this crown real quick in my bag.
But I think to imply that she can just, I'm sure River Run was her house, but to imply that she can just, sneak through a literal siege to get inside, I don't know. That's what's far-fetched to me and why I don't even give that much thought.
I don't know if I'm implying that she necessarily herself did that.
Her people, I don't know. Like I said, that seems.
Yeah, we move on.
All right, so Lem and Jack Be Lucky come back with two other guys, I think. Was there 4 of them total?
4 total, yeah. The only 2 I think that she knows are Jack Be Lucky and Lem.
And Lem has the Hound helmet, so she thinks he's the Hound. They like, haha, I'm not the Hound, but
yeah,
blah, blah, blah.
Thoros scolds him a little bit for it.
Yeah, I thought that was. I like Thoros. The more we're around Thoros right now, like I thought Thoros was a cool dude.
He still look okay with hanging a 13-year-old boy, but best of the bunch.
He's not in charge.
I mean, he's here, right? Yeah, exactly. He's kind of already in this situation, so I don't know.
But he's like, is that what we're to? Like, you steal dead people stuff? Which
exactly.
He wasn't the first. I mean, I guess it's 2 dead people away now.
There's no way, even when Beric was in charge, they were not taking like dead Lannisters' armor.
Yeah,
there's
like
0% chance.
Steal.
I know, but this helmet is pretty.
I think the helmet thing is a callback to Hyle told Pod to take a dead man's helmet. The last Brienne chapter, and Pod's like, no, it's a dead man's helmet, and Hyle's like, good steal. And that's pretty much what Lem says here. So. Yeah, just one of those things that seems pointless in the first Brienne chapter until this, which I don't know the point now, but I think it's definitely like a parallel.
I think it's just more too on the transformation of them. Like he's like, bad people have worn this helmet. They've done terrible things.
It's a symbol of hate. Yeah.
And Lem's now like, no, I want my enemies to think that when they see me in it. It's like,
I want to be afraid.
Like, I don't remember Lem. Like, I think we kind of liked Lem, right? Like he was a
he didn't seem like
guy and was a brother and.
He wasn't one of the funny ones. Like Tom and Jack were funnier, but we didn't hate Lem. I think one thing we learned for the first time here, and I'm jumping ahead a little bit. We learned that his wife and daughter. At one point, she's like, "You can have money," and he's like, "Am I going to get my wife and daughter back?" So
sapphires, even, which is a fake bribe.
And I think maybe he's invested because maybe it was like Lannisters, right, who did his wife and daughter. So maybe he's like, fuck this girl. She's a Lannister. I don't give a fuck. Kind of the same way like Cat is with the phrase. Like, I don't give a fuck who you are.
He's more fired up because it's the Lannisters in his situation.
Yeah, I don't think there's any evidence of that besides the thing we hear about. Like, you'd be pissed off your wife and he's on the Liam Neeson taken train.
I'm with that. All right, so she's taken to a bigger cavern with more people. There's even like children here, which
women and children.
I didn't remember. And back in the back of one of the spots, there's a table and a hooded lady holding the bronze and what else is it? Silver, bronze and iron crown that was Rob's.
Yep, and Brienne's like, oh shit, this is Stoneheart.
Definitely something that I wouldn't have picked up on without like first time reading it, and then you asked me like, what'd you think of the chapter? Like, I would have glossed over that fucking crown. Like,
oh, really?
There's no way I would have remembered without Nelson what the crown looked like. And
well, I don't know. I knew this was Rob's crown. It was definitely one of those like, how did she get this moment? So.
Well, I think Kyle probably because we spent some time on it in the Jaime chapter. Again, it's only mentioned like once or twice in the Jaime chapter. If you're just reading, you don't even think about it in the Jaime chapter, so it's hard to remember here.
Right.
All right.
But yeah, so
I'm saying that's one thing, Kyle. Like, I think the way the pace and detail that we go to, like,
you're right. I have some advantages for sure.
Well, that's part of the point too, because you also are reading it over the course of years.
I think that's the point, right? Like, I read this whole book already, and I didn't fucking remember. Like, it didn't click for me.
That's
so.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you don't have to read it twice. Is my point.
Hey, the second read's fun.
Sure.
But so basically, they present her. Hey, here's Brienne. Here's the lady we have. And Jack says the Kingslayer's whore. And Brienne's like, whoa. Because this is really the first time Brienne's getting a hint of what they're accusing her of. Yeah. She's like, whoa, why'd you call me that? And he's like, you know how many times you said his name while you were sleeping? I'd be rich as Lannisters if I had a nickel every time. And she's like, you don't understand. Like, and Kyle, what are you thinking here? Because I think this probably would be interesting, like on a first time read. You're like, oh shit, like she is kind of fucked here. Like it does probably look bad, right?
Yeah. So for sure, the whole time I was like, oh, once she gets Catelyn, like Catelyn's gonna come around and be like, oh my god, it's Brienne, and like everything's gonna be okay. That was definitely how I kind of was reading this as happening. It's like all she has to do is get an audience with this lady, and then we're gonna kind of have more Brienne chapters. So
yeah, they're friends, they're besties.
yeah. So for this to turn, it was definitely like a shocker. Yeah. It was one of those things where exactly. Everybody gets right into like, nope, you're a Lannister. You smell like a Lannister. You look like a Lannister. You have this sword that says you're a Lannister. You got this paper that says you're a Lannister. Like everything is pretty much against you, right? Like all you have to say is that no, I'm not.
Yep. Well, this is where she's like, nothing I say is gonna really help, but she's like, I gotta try anyway. So she tries to say it's for good reason. She's like, I swore oath to Catelyn Stark. Like Jaime gave me the sword. because he swore an oath to Catelyn Stark, and Lem's like, oh, that must have been before his friends cut her throat. And he's like, we know all about the Kingslayer and his oaths. And this is when she feels like, oh, I'm fucked. There's nothing I'm going to say. But then she kind of explains it. Like, he couldn't do anything. He sent me from King's Landing to get Sansa. I was looking for her. And she's like, and Harwin's like, what would you have done? I think this is a great question.
I think it's a great, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think the perspective of the Brotherhood here is like, one, we know Jaime's kind of a liar, right? You know, Jaime's kind of a dickhead. He also killed the person he was meant to protect, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, like, we also know what the Lannister men have done running through, the Mountain Men, right? So,
well, and I think the one interesting thing to keep in mind too is Catelyn has spent time with Brienne, so like they can take. Catelyn probably can trust, and this isn't even really Catelyn anymore. So it's, I think you almost got to treat it as a kind of different character. But Catelyn at least has history with Brienne. None of these other guys know shit. So as far as they're concerned, she's just lying out of her ass to save her own skin, like anybody who's actually a Lannister would be doing in this situation, right? Like, so it's really. I
do think the question is, I think they bring, obviously they have a lot of good evidence of what she's just carrying, but then like the questioning of her too, I thought was like, damn, she needed a lawyer, she needed an objection.
She has the Ned Stark problem where she's like not going to lie about anything no matter what, because.
Yeah,
that's just how she is, right? Like she could probably bend the truth a little bit here and there to make this a little bit easier on herself.
She's never done that though, so she has no experience.
And never would, and that's why we love her.
Her answer too is just like, "Oh, I'll just protect her." And it was like,
take her somewhere safe.
Take her back to King's Landing with Cersei, like, and they don't even know that Cersei was treating the girls like dog shit before.
yeah, exactly. So when they show her the sword, it's funny because Stoneheart is just staring daggers at the pommel, right? Like. That was all she cared about.
Yeah, they're like you think they're giving out swords like this to people that they don't like, and that like, and what were you gonna do? Like the Kingslayer was gonna hide you from Cersei, like, or hide the girl from Cersei? Like that makes no sense either. Like he has no idea the relationship that they're having currently, the complications.
Yeah, because she says, "What are you gonna do? Put her in Cersei's dungeon?" Brienne's like, "No." It's like, "Oh, you expect us to believe Jaime's giving out swords to his enemies, and that when he finds Sansa, he's gonna hide her from his own twin."
Yeah, which he might. Yeah.
Well, we know that. Yes, both of those things
that's
are
what
true.
I'm saying. Yeah.
But like obviously that Brienne saying like, it doesn't sound.
Doesn't carry a whole lot of weight.
Yeah.
Did you mention that they had brought Pod and Hyle in?
This is where they do right here. Yep.
Okay. All right.
Yep. They pull them in, and I think this is great. It's also super sad, right? Pod is like.
Pod's a man.
Pulls at the heartstrings in this chapter.
Pod
He's
is way
boy.
cooler than Show Pod, Nels.
Yeah, exactly.
But you
Pod became like a meme.
You love Show Pod.
Yeah, because he's a meme and he's a funny meme, but he's not a character.
He's not even close to as cool as this.
He's comedic relief, basically.
Yeah. This one we don't get much from though. I wish he was around a little more. He's barely.
He's just a soldier.
Yeah, that's kind of what's good about him, though. I guess he's sprinkled
like
in.
He's a young squire
that almost.
He probably could have been a true knight, right? Like what he showed, like, hey, Brienne, I'm sorry, and then like, all right, I'm skipping ahead, but like, just takes it, just like, all right, like I gotta go. Sorry, like peace out.
You gotta appreciate someone who's just doing their best, even if their best isn't world record. They're doing as best as they can, as hard as they can. 110% effort, Pod Squire over here, right? You gotta love it.
Yeah.
And he says, "I'm sorry." It's like, dude, what? Like, why are you saying you're sorry? Like, it's not your fault we're in this situation. And that's what she says. She's like, "You did nothing wrong." And she goes to Stoneheart, like, "Whatever you think I did." And again, honorable Brienne. Whatever you think I did, let these guys go. They had nothing to do with it. Which she didn't do anything. But
I thought, and then you get Hyle too. And like, oh, you should have married me. Now you're gonna die a maid.
Yeah, and I'm gonna die poor. Which is funny because like. I don't know if George is getting at this and we don't have to talk about it, but like if they would have got married in that chapter, which is, I don't even think what he was actually implying, but like technically he's a rich man all of a sudden, even though no money has exchanged hands, right? Like technically he now becomes a rich man. Because he now
has even fault.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Right. Or he's the heir. Yeah, exactly. So somehow that marriage would make him a rich man, even though like physically it wouldn't change anything about his situation.
I think that's the point though. Yeah.
I wonder if that's George is like kind of joking about that a little bit, but don't need to linger on it.
Yeah. All right. Lady Grey continues to study the sword, paper, and crown, is what I have. And she covers her neck and speaks. I kind of wish he wrote what it sounded like to Brienne.
Yeah. Halting, broken, and tortured. The sound seemed to come from her throat. Pure, part croak, part wheeze, part death rattle.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I
just want to see like what the sentence would look like for her to go like.
That's death rattle.
It's ask her what the name of the sword is. Like, how would you write the death rattle?
I mean, it's probably just like.
Yeah, but I just wanted
like
to. I wanted to read it. I wanted to read it. I didn't want it to be translated.
Well, I just told you. I said it.
I heard it, and
speaking of, remember what earlier I was saying, it had to be a pain in the ass for George to write like Jack, the one-eyed man, instead of Jack every time. When he has to write like, and the lady spoke, and then Harwin translate. It was a pain in the ass for me to write that every time in my notes. I was like about to come up with some shorthand to translate for, but yeah,
I didn't even.
Yeah, you can just say she said basically. Yeah, you just assume Harwin translated. I'm stupid.
Couldn't understand what she said, but it was translated, and the question is, what is the name of the sword? She says it's Oathkeeper, and the gray lady hisses at that. I thought that was cool too. That like instead of like it being like a laugh or a scowl, it's a
yeah. What do you think? So what do you think it is? Is it a laugh or is it like a fuck you, like pissed off?
Yeah, I don't know.
She's not holding her hand quite right. What is because I was thinking about this. I was actually thinking about this because Ilan Payne makes his clacking noise right with Jamie, which is a laugh. This is a hiss. So I was wondering, like, is it a laugh, like, fuck you, like, yeah, right, or is it like an agony, like, ah?
It's like a sigh. Like,
oh, okay,
it's a sigh.
Yeah,
bitch.
Yeah. You wish. Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah.
Oh,
let me do it one more time.
Oh, more like Oathbreaker. Yeah.
Oathbreaker. It was made for treachery, murder. She names it false friend like you. And Brienne's like, who have I been false to? And Arwen's like, her. You don't tell me you've forgotten the one you swore service to. Let's read this quote. Short one. There was only one woman the Maid of Tarth had ever sworn to serve.
That cannot be. She's dead.
Death and castrate,
muttered Longjean Heddle.
They don't mean so much as they used to. Neither one.
Lady Stoneheart lowered her hood and unwound the gray wool scarf from her face. Her hair was dry and brittle, white as bone. Her brow was mottled green and gray, spotted with brown blooms of decay. The flesh of her face clung in ragged strips from her eyes down to her jaw. Some of the rips were crusted with dried blood, but others gaped open to reveal the skull beneath. And this is where Brienne realizes.
All right, so I got a quick problem here, because it's not a problem, but it kind of implies that at some point in Lady Stoneheart's leadership of this group, she sat everybody down and around and was like, let me tell you a story time about this woman knight Brienne that took the oath to protect me and send Jamie and find my daughters, right? Basically. Because they all know that Brienne at this point has betrayed her. They just kind of say, like, the dude was just like, you betrayed.
Who have been false to her. Yep,
to her.
You're right.
So, like, how... It doesn't sound like Lady Stoneheart is sharing... Like,
talking
what,
a lot.
Like, okay, Lady Stoneheart, tell us what you went through. Like, where did she start? Where did she stop, right?
I think when Brienne showed up right now, right? Like, I think she was like, I know this one.
Well, I'm trying to say that anyone, like, it wasn't what worldwide news that Brienne and Jamie were together, but like everyone at Riverrun would have known the day after Jamie went missing that Brienne was with Jamie, right? So, but it's just a question.
He's saying, why would Lem know this?
Is anybody of those people with the Brotherhood? I don't know. That's a good question. I think Harwin at least knows. The other thing we learned, Harwin is a translator, and also Thoros says that Harwin was the one that begged me to bring Catelyn back, and he's like, I wouldn't try it, and then Barrick did, right? We'll get there in a second, but Harwin was the one really wanting Catelyn back because he's from the north. Yeah. So I could see, yes, I don't think she sat everyone down, but I could see her and Harwin having some actual more.
That was I was curious about that. I was like, because
I think this is close enough to her main directive that when she showed up, she was like, this is fucking Jamie's, like.
She might have sat everyone down and been like, okay, here's top 5. Walder, Roose, Jamie.
Well, not even that. No, what I'm saying is when Brienne showed up in this hole, she was like, this is what I was. She was in my service. And then did go into this, like, a little speech about this ship. I think she might have briefed them prior to this
I'm just saying, like, who was there? Who was briefed? Like, I was curious about that. I just wanted to get Nelson's perspective.
Yeah, I disagree with what Kyle said just because it seems like Lady Stoneheart's literally being briefed on Brienne for the first time here. They're like, hey, this is the sword she showed up with. This is the paper it might all be like a dog and pony show for Brienne's purposes.
No, she pulled out the paper.
No, Thoros did.
No, they
gave it to her.
Thoros.
Okay.
But like, so it feels to me like this is the first time, like they probably told her, yo, we got Brienne. We know who it is. but it's not like you said it was. You'll see, but it's
because she has Lannister's sword and shit now.
Yeah,
right. Because this is one more thing I was going to say, and we don't need to linger on the point. Because timeline doesn't matter, but when Kat was killed, Brienne and Jaime were still in transit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So no word would have gotten to a live Kat that Brienne had switched sides or stopped trying to fulfill the oath that she gave Kat.
I'm on Team Jeff now. This seems a little weird, but okay.
Nothing alive Kat would have thought that Brienne was the oath breaker.
No, a live Kat definitely not.
Until she shows up with Lannister's sword, right?
Yes.
Which
yes.
That's the only thing that Kat would have.
Weird twist, maybe. What if Thoros saw something in the fires, and then they had some of these conversations beforehand? Like they do have a seer.
Yeah, but I don't think Thoros has talked to Lady Stoneheart about Brienne since they've come across Brienne.
I know, but what I'm saying is, like, what about they like saw her in the fires or something?
Yeah.
And then that's when the story came out. And then
maybe, but then if that's the case, I don't think Kat's playing the whole hang or don't hang game. I think she's just going with the fires or not. Like, I don't know. Maybe she's just saying, fuck your fires, I don't believe them. And then playing Brienne, the hang game anyway.
That's fair.
I'll just ask one more question, I guess, kind of to Nelson. If Brienne had ice, how does Lady?
Yeah, I know. That was one of my guesses for the final word.
Well, she kind of does. Like, let's say she actually has ice. What does Lady Stoneheart? How does Lady Stoneheart feel about that? Is that you are team us and I save you, or let's just say it's a random sword. Maybe she's not clad in anything Lannister. She doesn't even have a Tommen decree, but
she's fine.
She's just Brienne. She's cool. It's come on in. Let's heal her up and let's get her back out there to find Sansa.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Okay. I think it's not 100% though, because we don't know how. Like, there's definitely something about Kat is not Kat anymore. She's Lady Stoneheart. Right. She's kind of a different character. How much of we're hanging you is because she's just different? I think a lot of it has to do with the paper and sword. So I think she would be okay if she didn't have that. Okay. But it's hard to tell because we don't know we don't know enough about Lady Stoneheart, I guess.
All right. So Thoros goes into. It's describing how they found her 3 days after the Red Wedding.
Yep. And
you had mentioned Harwin wanted, begging for him to give her the kiss. He wouldn't, but Beric did, which is interesting. And Beric passed his life on to her.
Yeah, which is weird because Thoros has given Beric the kiss of life before, and then they both come out okay.
Yeah.
Does Thoros? So, he's been kind of older every time. We even talked about that already.
It's a good point.
It's true. Is that from just
age, or could it be sucking some of his energy out? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I think the weird thing here is that Beric was so fast to kiss his gross corpse, right? Like part of her skull is showing and stuff. Like, no thanks.
Well, hang on. Why is what's Beric's mission? Kat's mission is revenge. What was Beric's mission?
Kiss corpses?
Nope.
Just trying to find the sexiest skeleton in Westeros.
Who sent Beric out?
Kat? No, it wasn't Kat. I forget.
Ned.
I'm sorry.
Ned. To kill the Hound.
Mountain.
Yeah.
The Mountain.
The Mountain, you're right. Yeah,
and when Robert died, they're basically we have no, what's weird is Thoros says we have no king. They had no king when they were with Arya, but they still had a purpose behind Beric. And it was kind of we're doing what Ned told us to do. We're coming out here and cleaning up the Riverlands and we're trying to find Gregor. But so I think that's part of it too, is the Ned thing, right?
I think the Ned connection.
There's a Ned and Kat connection, right? So that's why Beric is connected to Kat, is because it's the guy who sent him out.
I'll say one other thing too, maybe, is that Beric had seen, maybe Beric saw something through the fire too. Was all right, this is my time. I need to do it.
Maybe. But that is probably part of it, Jeff. Go ahead.
And I was going to say the only reason I think he truly died was because it took that much more energy to bring back a 3-day dead person.
That's probably part of it. I would say that on your first point there, Beric was done, right? He pretty much made it clear, he's this is fucking me up, man. I am. This is not me anymore. I need to go.
I'm ready to tap out. I'm tapping out.
Yeah.
Bring in Lady Stoneheart.
I think it's one of the things I can't remember. I know it's either in the show or books or both. In one of them, Beric says, "Don't bring me back."
Yeah, I think I don't know if he said that specifically.
He says that to Thoros. If it happens again, don't bring me back, right?
Yeah, I don't know if he said it specifically, but he definitely was feeling that way for sure. And that vibe came across to me where he was done with this.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember the show, but I don't want to make any comments just in case Kyle wants to watch it.
I feel like I know what you're thinking right now. We'll talk about the section.
Brienne pleads that I never betrayed you. I don't know who says this. Words are wind. Time to prove your faith.
He translated that from her.
Okay, so she hissed it to her. And
how are you gonna prove your time to prove your faith? How? With Oathkeeper, time to keep your oath.
I thought this was a great part too. It was like, well, she wants her son alive, or those to blame dead.
She wants to feed the crows like they did at the Red Wedding. Phrase in Bolton's eye. We'll give her those, as many as she likes. All she asks from you is Jaime Lannister.
Dun, dun, dun. Oh, it was great.
Yep, good quote. There's a lot of like good, like short little quotes in this one. They're just like really quotable ones. Yeah.
Brienne didn't do herself any favor here trying to defend Jaime right out of the gate either.
Nah, it's hard. Again, it's an uphill battle for sure for Brienne. Yeah.
I mean, she did lay out like a whole bunch of like things like, lady, I would not be. I think the problem is that Brienne still has this thing where she's like, oh my God, I'm still doing Lady Catelyn's stuff, so she still has to respect me. Whereas Catelyn sees her as breaking that oath already, right? So she's like, look, he saved me. He's the reason I'm here to continue on your mission. But Catelyn does not see it as her continuing on her mission any longer. Yeah. So that's the problem.
Yeah, and that's why it's so heartbreaking. So that's why, like Jeff said when we started the chapter, like, wow, we've had 8 Brienne chapters. Yeah, and I guarantee in like all 7 of them before this one, she's thought about how she's failing Lady Catelyn by how much she sucks at her mission. And here we are, Lady Catelyn. Here we are. We said Pod's giving it his best. Brienne's also giving it her best. You know, she's doing everything she can. And you know what I mean? It's like, fuck you because, I feel like this, you know what this reminds me of? And it's not the same as the Pirates of the Caribbean line where Jack Sparrow saves Elizabeth. Because she just saved this whole inn of people. Like someone even admits, without you, they all would have died. And what is she getting for that? She's getting punished, right? Like no good deed goes unpunished. But the Jack Sparrow line is he saves her. Like is one good deed enough to redeem a man from a lifetime of wickedness? Because Elizabeth's really arguing for him to let Jack Sparrow go. And he says no, but it seems enough to condemn him. Like I did a good deed, and that's what I'm getting fucked over for. Is like because I ran into you guys because I was trying to help you out, and now you're fucking me over. Like without you, this whole inn of children without me, this whole inn of children would be dead. And obviously that's not Brienne's argument. She never once goes with that argument. She goes with like the argument that she knows they're not gonna like.
I've been upholding my oath.
It's like, yeah.
Take the sword and slay the Kingslayer, or be hanged for a betrayal.
Choose.
Yeah, so they basically say, that's your option. You have to either sword and kill the Kingslayer or be hung as a betrayer. Sword or noose. Choose. Brienne remembered the dream and how she bit off her tongue. She's like, I'm not going to make that choice. And there was a long silence, and this is the only 2 words she ever actually understood from Lady Stoneheart. Hang them.
Hang them.
So we go outside. It's dawn. Dawn shining through the trees, dawn light, and they put the noose around their necks. Willow, 2 elms. Lem is talking to her. He's got the helmet on. He's like, if there's crimes to confess, now's the time to do it. Hyle's like, I'll kill Jaime. I'll fucking do it. I don't give a fuck. Like, pick me. And they're like, nope, this is it. And Brienne's like, ransom Pod. My father will give you silver and sapphires. He's like, will they give me my wife back?
Well, isn't that a lie, too? Because there's no sapphire. Like, Jaime lied about the sapphires being there.
Yeah, she's hitting him with the Jaime lie, which is a kind of an un-Brienne thing to do.
Very much. She's become a liar.
But for Pod. She's only trying to save Pod. She says, because even in this scenario, she's like, send Pod with my bones back to Tarth, and you'll get sapphire. She's sacrificing herself here.
Sure.
Yeah, for sure.
But, like, all right, they take Pod back. There's no sapphires, and then they...
Who cares? Pod's safe. Right. Yeah, who cares? That's what Brienne's thinking.
Is he safe? Well, is the question. Do they have Pod at knife point?
Unless
we're walking
Brienne's
up,
dad
like,
sends him back.
holding a dagger to Pod's neck. He's like, give me sapphires.
That's what I don't think Brienne's dad would do that. Like,
we don't know. We never met the guy.
Kill this kid. I know, but I don't think he's killing a 13-year-old kid.
And Jack's like, shut up. We're going to hang these guys or not. And Lem's like, let's see if she can dance. Gives a yank. Kyle, read the end of the chapter.
Brienne felt the hemp constricting, digging into her skin, jerking her chin upward. Sir Hyle was cursing them eloquently, but not the boy. Podrick never lifted his eyes. not even when his feet were jerked up off the ground. If this is another dream, it is time for me to awaken. If this is real, it is time for me to die. All she could see was Podrick, the noose around his thin neck, his legs twitching. Her mouth opened. Pod was kicking, choking, dying. Brienne sucked the air in desperately, even as the rope was strangling her. Nothing had ever hurt so much. She screamed a word. King's Moot!
Oh, that's a word.
Wow.
I was trying to think of a good Game of Thrones word in there for you, so I got that one.
That would be a great word. They'll all be running to their dictionaries.
Yeah, I actually don't have a great one. So like ice was one of them, but that doesn't seem like enough to be like, look, this is your sword. I don't even know if she knows that's their sword. I'm just like trying to, like, I have been racking my brain. I had one midway through and that kind of went away now at this point. It's like, I solved the problem. I don't know, man. Like this one is like one word to save yourself. And what could it be?
What would you say, Kyle?
That's the other side of it. It's like, is it even to save herself at this point? Because if she watched Pod and He'll die, like we just talked about, like why, like is that where she's at? She's going to use this to save herself.
Well, I don't think she cares about herself. That whole quote I had you read was Pod never lifted his eyes, not even when his
That's
feet
what I'm
were
saying.
the ground. Pod's the neck. Pod's kicking, choking, dying. Not one mention of Heil to be. So fuck it.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm kind of saying though. Is like, what word would she say that would save Pod and not her? And it has to be one word. Like I said, that's the hard limiting factor that I don't.
I mean, what would be the low hanging fruit?
What do you mean limiting? That should narrow it way down. There's literally like infinite possibilities. There's still infinite possibilities, probably with one word, but
like Jamie isn't going to be like, I'm going to go kill Jamie.
I mean, she could have just said stop, which maybe that works, or maybe it doesn't.
You need something that works, Jeff. Come on.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of getting at. Is like, what's strong enough?
Well, what did they ask her? Right, they asked her to say
kill
one word or the other. Right?
Not really. No, it was like, will you take Oathbreaker and kill Jamie or choose death?
Right,
what? How do you say Jamie in one word?
I know
other than just calling Jamie?
No. They tell her just right. There's a part where it's not right away, right, like at the same time.
Sword or the noose, right? So like,
yeah.
Obviously she's not. I don't think she would say noose. Like,
yeah,
it's already
I mean,
on
you think
her
she's
neck,
going to say sword?
She could have said stop for all I know. She could have said sorry. I don't
know. I think if you got one word, I this is my problem. I guess is like I wouldn't have the ability to pick the word. Like when I'm like dying here, like what is the one word to save yourself? I don't even know what it is.
Like the quote implies that she's being hung. She's already off her feet too, and like it's like really painful to somehow squeeze air down through past the rope and then push it back out. So yeah, just kind of a heroic whatever it is.
Good thing they can translate slit throat.
Yeah, they're used to this. They speak this language.
Without Harlan, they wouldn't know what the fuck she said.
They're like, oh, she wanted to say something, but we don't know.
All right, well, we'll leave it there.
Yeah, I'm sorry that it's not better. I mean, maybe sword, I guess. Like that's what I would think that the point she's trying to get across is that she's trying to save herself. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have.
Is there a Brienne 9 or?
I don't think there is.
There's only 4 more chapters in Feast.
Oh.
Yeah, we got off topic. A lot of it's gonna get cut. Might be a weird jump.
Bye, Kyle.
But yeah, bye, Kyle. Good
Bye, Kyle.
predictions. Anything else to say? No.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't have a good like one word save your life, wrap it all up kind of choice. Like that's a heavy thing to do, and I could not do it in that brief period of time. So I'd be dead. I think Brienne's dead. I think we get maybe what the word is from somebody other point of view. Hopefully we get Gendry chapters or something. I don't know. Actually, he wasn't there, so we were not going to get that. But anyway, later, nerds.
Yep. See you, Kyle. Bye. Next one for Cersei.
9.
10.
No
Cersei
way.
10. Yep. All right. Bye, Kyle.
Bye, Kyle.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
Bye, Kyle.
Bye, Kyle.
See you on the next one for Cersei 10. Jeff, what we got?
So I mean, I'll just say this. Sometimes Kyle doesn't give us a whole lot.
I know. We got to pull it from him sometimes.
We got to
hard.
I get it, fans. You want Kyle's reaction, but like, you kind of gotta pry the guy open to get a reaction.
Yeah, he's not a
like. Did I force feed him sword right there? Is that what that's what you would assume, right? We didn't say like that's what the fans assume or anything like that, but like I think you've said that before.
I think it's totally fine coming from you, but that's the answer. We don't know the answer in the books, but this book is old. It actually came out back when George was kind of like straight up just answering questions that he probably shouldn't have been answering. And at one point, I think George has
straight up said, "Yeah,
it's sword."
Which you said before that he could change if he really wanted to.
100%. And I think one of the funny theories is people think that it's a typo because it's a word. People think that he hit A instead of S because they're right next to each other on the keyboard, and it just auto put a space in there because a word makes as much sense as sword.
That you guys are.
I don't know if I buy that one,
are way too far into it.
Because if you read it both ways,
thing gets edited. Somebody's reading. An editor is reading this chapter.
It makes sense both ways though. She screamed a word, or she screamed sword. They both make sense.
No, because it would be in quotations with an exclamation point.
Okay, that's fair. That's a good point. That's a really good point. But yeah, so I think a word, and George has said it's sword. So that, I think he could change that because it's not in the text yet. But what is in the text is that she is still alive. We know that for sure. Just because in the future, I think it's the Dance with Dragons Jaime chapter. Jaime's in Riverrun already, or no, he's left Riverrun. I forget where it is. I think he's somewhere else.
How does he know Brienne is alive?
Some outriders come up to him and they're like, "Hey, we've found somebody."
How do you know they're not lying?
They might be, but they say she says she's Lady Brienne and she says she needs you to come alone or something like that.
That's the easiest lie ever. How else would you get Jaime to come?
Well, it's an easy lie as a reader to make to Jaime, but most people don't know anything about him and Brienne being together, I would think.
Except Brienne.
Well, or like Blackfish. To be fair, to your point, Blackfish would probably know enough to know that. Well, Blackfish would know that Brienne and him went off together, but not that like he would come. Like most people think Jaime
like come at her beck and call.
Yeah, exactly. Most people think like she was his captor, not like best friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but if you had to shoot a shot and you're like, all right, we can get some outriders to be near Jaime.
I don't think anybody would know. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think anybody would know that Jaime. Most people think Jaime sucks and wouldn't do anything for anybody but Jaime. I think only Brienne would actually think Jaime would come to this. Okay. So I think it's fair. And again, I also don't remember exactly what the situation is. So I
think it's a reach that Brienne might think that it'll definitely work. Like, oh, he'll definitely come because I asked him to.
I forget. I should know. I forget. Let me look it up real quick. Because I think it is late in Dance with Dragons, Jaime. This is what the wiki says. Having been spared by the Brotherhood, Brienne appears briefly at Pennytree when Jaime camps there. She asks Jaime to help save Sansa Stark from the Hound, claiming they are a day's ride away. She tells Jaime, however, that he must go with her alone or the Hound will kill Sansa.
Sounds like Brienne's actually there, not an outrider.
Cersei is skeptical when she's informed that her twin disappeared with a woman in the Riverlands. I always thought it was an outrider. Again, it's been a while since I read this chapter, but this says, having been spared by the Brotherhood, Brienne appears briefly at Pennytree when Jaime camps there. That makes it sound like it's not. The wiki makes me seem like it's not an outrider. Yeah, I don't know. I'll read that Jaime chapter before this episode comes out. Editor Nelson will answer it right now.
Okay.
Hey all, Editor Nelson here. I was kind of right and wrong at the same time. Outriders do bring Brienne to Jaime. It's only like a paragraph and a half. It's the very end of the only Jaime chapter in Dance of Dragons. So I'm just going to read like the 2 paragraphs right now. This is basically, he has done the Blackwood and Bracken stuff. He gets to Pennytree and he's just chilling in Pennytree for the night. He posted sentries to see that no one left the confines of the village. He sent out scouts as well to make certain no enemy took them unawares. It was near midnight when 2 came riding back with a woman they had taken captive. She rode up, "Bode as you please, my lord, demanding words with you." Jaime scrambled to his feet. "My lady, I had not thought to see you again so soon. Gods be good, she looks 10 years older than when I saw her last. And what's happened to her face?"
That bandage. You've been wounded? A bite. She touched the hilt of her sword, the sword that he had given her. Oathkeeper. My lord, you gave me a quest. The girl. Have you found her? I have, said Brienne, maid of Tarth. Where is she? A day's ride. I can take you to her, sir, but you will need to come alone. Elsewise, the hound will kill her. And that's the end of the only Jaime chapter in Dance with Dragons. So definitely a big cliffhanger on that one. Kind of makes sense why I didn't remember exactly what went on. But, yep, there you go. Back to normal Nelson and Jeff. Thank you, Editor Nelson. Great answer on whether Brienne was actually there or not, I think is what I was answering.
I would like to know that answer, so thanks for
I'll
dropping
text
the
it to
ball
you.
on.
Editor Nelson will text it to you. He texted it to you already.
All right, cool. All right, you give me one. Give me a hot take.
It was morning outside. She was surprised to see shafts of pale dawn light were slanting through the trees. So many trees to choose from. She thought they will not need to take us far.
Can't believe she's Azor Ahai. I can't believe she's dying.
It's weird because of trees.
Why? Like old god stuff?
She's about to die. Dawn, trees. Yeah, exactly. Old god stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it's just a Dawn saying. It just says Dawn. So I think she'd be a good candidate for like having to die for love type of thing. Like if Jaime
she's near Azor, or whoever has Dawn, she's nearby and seeing the shafts of light through trees.
Well,
they're fighting in a forest.
That's lame. I think if Jaime having already killed the king, like if Jaime now had to kill Brienne to save the world, like would people still like just think about Jaime's character. Jaime tried to save King's Landing by killing the king and got shit on for it. Now, like in front of like the army or whatever, he had to kill Brienne to bring Lightbringer, and like Brienne's like totally cool with it. Let's just say hypothetical. Brienne's like, yeah, you have to do it.
You have to kill Jaime. She's gonna go kill him.
No, Jaime could kill Brienne.
Oh, she just lets him do it.
Like Nisa type shit.
Nisa. Yeah, okay.
Brienne's like, yes, kill me, bring on Lightbringer, save the world.
Let me understand. You're saying that the Brotherhood makes them fight each other.
No. I'm moving past the Brotherhood. I'm moving to the Long Night.
Okay.
To where Dawn actually happens, right?
Okay. So why is Brienne letting Jaime kill her then? Just cause?
To get Lightbringer to save the world. Because we need it, right? So she sacrifices herself for Nisa, or Lightbringer, whatever. I don't know how deep this thing goes. He then saves the world with Lightbringer, but everybody hates him because he now killed Brienne too.
What if you just put that as part of the Brotherhood? Say Brienne brings Jaime back to Catelyn, and Catelyn's like, okay, now you two trial by combat each other. Or she's like, Jaime, you get... It doesn't make sense because she's just hanging everybody. So why would she all of a sudden decide, like, okay, now we're going to go back to barracks rules? But say she does this. Say she says, okay, Jaime, trial by combat.
Yeah.
And Brienne's like, I volunteer to be the champion against him. And then she's just like, kill me. Like, she volunteers to kill herself to save, you know what I mean? To try and save Jaime or something.
I don't know. That's lame.
Or, I think Brienne...
You weren't getting the point of like Jaime, me trying to say Jaime's a good guy, trying to be a good guy, save the world, but then people still hate him because he now killed Brienne. But
I don't think he would kill Brienne. Yeah, I just don't think he would kill Brienne
to save the world.
I guess I didn't realize in your scenario he knew.
Happens in like every superhero movie.
Okay, I guess in your scenario I didn't realize Jaime was aware that that's what he was doing.
Didn't Scarlett Johansson's character kill herself because she wanted to save the Bowman guy in I don't know, the Endgame or the one before Endgame?
Yeah, they're both trying to kill themselves to save the other one
because they know they needed to, right? I've seen the clip. I don't understand the concept of it all, but
yeah, it was like one of them had to die to get a gem that they needed, but they both loved each other, so they're like fighting. You have to jump off a cliff, basically.
I understand the concept of why they were fighting.
That's the deal. Somebody has to die, so then they fight.
So that they could save the world, right? They didn't both just say, all right, fuck it, let's just both sit here till the world ends.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Which is what I'm saying. Brienne wouldn't just sit there till the world
What
ended.
I'm saying is you, in your first scenario, didn't include the fact that Jaime knew.
You probably cut me off. You'll realize when you edit it.
Probably not. But okay, what else?
The crown.
Crown. I don't think we know.
I thought you... All right, so we had discussed about it. We know that they have a person behind enemy lines.
Exactly. I didn't say it, but when Kyle said, at first he was like joking, like, "Oh, so Catelyn infiltrated the camp."
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. The answer is yes. We know.
Yes,
we
they are.
know the
It is
answer is yes.
infiltrated.
Tom is in there. He's the one singing.
He's
songs.
singing to them right now. Actually,
exactly. So like,
yeah.
I
thought that was cool, and you might have spoiled that for him on another day.
what I was gonna say to Kyle was, we have seen the Brotherhood is really friendly with the small folk, so I don't think it's unlikely that they could have an inside man. Just like a random river, especially because we know how many river lords are at river. Like, I probably would have gone that route. Like, it's just a random Riverlands man at arms.
It's cool for us to know that it was.
Yeah.
The one thing, like, maybe he could have pulled is, like, Tom. Why isn't Tom here right now?
Yes, especially because he mentioned Tom's name. That was like he's like, oh, is that Tom? Like, that's one of the memorable Brotherhood guys, right? Yeah, exactly. So I think it's cool. I don't know. I think we do find out about that in Dance, but what I was looking up, I don't think we get any of these feast chapters. I think there's like 80 chapters in Dance.
80?
Yeah.
It's not the number I wanted to hear.
That's how most of the books are. Literally, like, all the books were like 70-ish.
That's 2 years almost.
But all the books were like that except this one. This one was only 46. But I don't think any of these feast characters are until like the last 10. So like we won't hear from Jaime for a while.
Any rumors about what happens to Ryman Frey?
I think we know he's dead. That's how they got the.
We know he's hanging.
I'm gonna take that back. I feel like I've always been in the camp that Ryman took the crown, and that's how Lady Stoneheart got it because of the whole fair market map thing. But the more that I talk about it, I'm not convinced on that. So, hold on, let me Google it. He dies. On his way back to the twins, Ryman and his escort of 3 knights and 12 men-at-arms are captured near Fair Market by the Brotherhood Without Banners and hanged.
Yeah. So, Tomo 7 Strings gave him word, like, hey, here they come.
Yes, I think that's... Yes. Cool. So, yeah. Brienne is going to meet Jaime.
Got a long time for that, though.
Yeah. We'll see that in a while.
We'll see you guys in 2027.
Yeah, say goodbye to Brienne for a while. Next one, Cersei 10. It's got to be her imprisonment. Should be a good one. Not too long either.
I'm actually excited to see her get locked up.
Yeah, it should be good.
For a third time. I want to do my show real quick on Beric. Beric lives way too long in the show.
Oh, the other thing is, I said I didn't remember if Beric said it, but I might have been misremembering Jon. Jon definitely tells Melisandre, "Don't bring me back," and Melisandre's like, "No, I'm gonna, no matter what."
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, I don't remember Beric saying it. But
I can't remember either. But now again, it's so hard to remember. Because
I was gonna say Beric lives a whole lot longer in the show.
Well, yeah, he does. That's what I was thinking too. He lives. Yeah. Well, there's no Lady Stoneheart for him to die for. Yeah. So.
Right.
But. When I said it, I honestly thought it was Beric, either in the show or books. But as soon as I said it, I saw your face. I was like, "Fuck, that was Jon." So yeah, I think Beric might have said something similar. But now that I'm thinking about it, I think it was probably just Jon and Melisandre.
I think he might even like wrote something like, "I don't know why he keeps bringing me back. Like I'm less myself every time." Like you could.
He definitely said all that, but I just don't.
Like you can imply that he was like getting to the point where it's like, I don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah, exactly. So. All right, cool.
Let's wrap
That's all I got. We'll see you guys in the next one for Cersei 10. Bye-bye.
Bye.